Hi gang, this video is for lesson 10.1, which is looking for a pattern in division problems. So, we're going to take a look at this problem. I'm going to divide 6,000 divided by 30, which can be written as 6,000 divided by 30, as it is here. It can also be written as 6,000 divided by 30. My dividend always goes on the inside of my bracket, and my divisor goes on the outside. Okay, to solve this problem, I'm going to try to look for a pattern. When I see zeros, a whole bunch of zeros in a division problem, that's going to be my clue that I can use a pattern. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to break 6,000 divided by 30 down into a really simple division problem. So we're going to take 6 divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. Now let's look at my pattern to see what happens if I add a 0 to make 60 and a 0 to make 30. So I've multiplied both of those numbers by 2. My trick is I can cross off a 0. If I cross off a 0 in 60, I can also cross off a 0 in 30. Now I'm left with that same problem. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. Let's see what happens if we add more zeros. Now I have 600 divided by 30. Again, I can start crossing off my zeros. So if I cross off 1 0 in 600, I can cross off 1 0 in 30. Now I have 1 0 in 600 that I didn't cross off. So I add that 0 on to my final answer. 6 divided by 3 is still 2. I have an extra 0, so I added a 0 in my final answer to get 20. Let's take a look at a bigger problem. 6,000 divided by 30 equals 200. Again, I'm going to cross off a 0 in my 6,000. I can cross off a 0 in 30. Now I'm left with 2 zeros that haven't been crossed off. So in my final answer, I'm going to have 2 zeros. So 6,000 divided by 30 equals 200. Think about how you can check your answer to see if that's right. I can check my answer to say that 200 times 3 200 times 30 equals 6,000. So I can check my answer by multiplying. Alright, let's take a look at a few more examples. We're going to do one more example together, and then you're going to try one on your own. So, in this example, I can't take 1 divided by 5. That's not possible. So I'm going to take 10 divided by 5. So when I take 10 divided by 5, I get an answer of 2. I can cross off 1 0 and 1 0. So I know that my final answer is 2. 100 divided by 50 equals 2. I know that because 50 plus 50 equals 100. Let's take a look at 1,000 divided by 50. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Now I'm going to cross off a 0 here, and then I'm going to cross off a 0 on my 50 number. I'm left now with 1 0 that hasn't been crossed off, so my final answer is going to be 20. 1,000 divided by 50 equals 20. Let's take a look at 10,000 divided by 50. Again, 10 divided by 5 is 2. Now I'm going to start crossing off my zeros. Cross off 1 0 in 10,000, so I can cross off 1 0 in 50. Now I'm left with 2 zeros that haven't been crossed out. So I'm going to add 2 zeros to the end of my 2 for a final answer of 200. So 10,000 divided by 50 equals 200. Now what I'd like for you to do is you're going to pause your video, and on your notes page, you are going to do the example that says you try. So right now, please pause your video and solve these 3 questions. I'm going to pull out a slide that can help you. Remember, use your basic facts, cross off matching zeros on each side of the division sign, and any non-crossed off zero should be in your answer. Please hit pause and figure these out. Alrighty, hopefully that didn't take you too long, and we're going to figure these out together. So you need to check your work to see if you're getting the same answer that I did. My basic fact is going to be 45 divided by 9. 45 divided by 9 is 5. Now I can cross off my zeros. 1, 2. That means my final answer is 5. Again, I can check that by multiplying 90 times 5. 90 times 5 is equal to 450. Again, 45 divided by 9 is 5. Now I can start crossing off my zeros. I have 1 0 that I didn't cross off. That means I'm going to have a 0 in my answer. So 4,500 divided by 90 is equal to 50. Last one. 45 divided by 9 is 5. I can cross off my zeros. I can cross 1 off in 45,000. I can cross 1 off in 90. That leaves me with 2 zeros that haven't been crossed off. So I know my answer has to be 500. 45,000 divided by 90 equals 500. Hopefully you can give yourself a pat on the back for that. Alright, we have one more example that we're going to try. This time, we're going to try solving for n. So again, I'm thinking to myself, how can I make this an easier problem? Well, I know that a basic fact that I should know is 32 divided by 8. So I know 32 divided by 8 is 4. And I know that's what n is going to equal something. So I need to put n equals. I can cross off a 0 here and a 0 here. So my final answer is going to be n equals 4. This is an example when I'm trying to solve for n. Now, again, on your notes sheet, you should have one that says you try. So this time, I would like for you to try to solve 720 divided by n equals 9. So again, you're thinking to yourself, 720 divided by what number will give me a final answer of 9? Please hit pause and try to do this on your own. Alright, well, the basic fact that I know involves the number 72 and the number 9. So I know that 72 divided by 8 equals 9. So n is going to be equal to 8 something. So n is going to need, if I have 9 over here, I'm going to need to cancel out a 0. So I know that n is going to be equal to 80. So if I retype my problem, 720 Now that I know n is equal to 80, I can plug it in for n. So 720 divided by 80 equals 9. So to double check myself, I can cross off my 0 here in 720 and my 0 in my 80. So I'm left with 72 divided by 8 equals 9. That's how I can double check my work. I can also double check my work by saying 80 times 9 is equal to 720. Okay. This is your lesson for 10.1, which is finding a pattern in division problems.